Big breaking news in the transfer world this evening. 100 million euros, 87 million pounds bid rejected for RB Leipzig winger Yan Diomande. Liverpool are the first to make their move on the Ivorian winger, the superstar, the next best thing out there, the hottest property out in European football at the moment. Everybody's after the teenage superstar. We heard earlier on today Leipzig would like to keep him one more year. Then you get the story of Jurgen Klopp and his influence trying to push him to Liverpool. And lo and behold, this evening, Fabrizio Romano, Florian Plettenberg break the news that Liverpool have made their first approach and their bid. It was only 24 hours ago that they were confirming the move and confirming a here we go signing of Victor Munoz from Osasuna, stealing him from under the noses of Newcastle. Then we got wind last night of, obviously, Liverpool going for Munoz and still looking for another winger in that area. The same type of player looking to double down. I don't know who is going to be leaving Liverpool this summer, but you would have thought someone's going to make way for two wingers coming in. And that's if Liverpool get their man. Because like what has been reported this evening, and we have just said, this bid, this massive bid for a player that's had one very, very successful season in the Bundesliga, this is 87 million pounds, 100 million euros rejected. And on top of that, it gets worse because Leipzig wants 120 million euros. That, in translation, is over 100 million pounds. In fact, to be precise, 104 million pounds sterling for a player that's got no Premier League experience, has only just come onto the scene. Yes, he might be the next best thing. You never know. And players who do well in Germany don't often turn out to be that same player when they come back to the Premier League. Liverpool have formed for this. Liverpool know all too well about superstars that are smashing it in the Bundesliga, coming for over 100 million. We only have to look back to this time last year when Florian Wirtz came through the doors of Anfield and the expectation levels were through the roof, only for him to completely bum out and flop in his first season. Could this be happening again? Look, I don't want to make the point here of saying that Yan Diomande is going to be the same. He looks like an absolute baller. And Liverpool are making serious moves. But you've got to be thinking right now that there is something in this deal that scares Liverpool a little bit. Like, oh my God, deja vu. Is this happening all over again? Leipzig are playing hardball. They are. There were prices being floated around by Florian Plettenberg before about this being a deal worth in and around the 70+ million mark. Manchester United would have been interested at this price, but United are not going anywhere near that sort of market at the moment. Liverpool are, though. Liverpool are ready to spend the money. They're ready to go. And Fabrizio Romano and Florian Plettenberg are saying that they're expecting Liverpool to come back in. But hold on again, that's not it. There is more on this deal from Fabrizio Romano this evening. It is massive news, this. It's absolutely huge. Another 100 million plus player. What is going on in the transfer world right now? Romano said that Leipzig have rejected this bid, want approximately 120 million euros, and are expecting the likes of PSG and other European giants to come in and join the transfer battle for the signature of Yan Diomande. This is absolutely crazy. Yan Diomande, one major season in the Bundesliga. Yes, he's a good player. But wow, what is going on in the transfer world? One thing this is, and the word I would use to describe this again, and we're seeing this in the Premier League at the moment, I don't know what's happened to the transfer world and why the prices have gone absolutely crazy. Where did this come from? Why did European football decide that this summer was going to be the summer where prices just skyrocketed? Look, I know there were big deals last summer, I know, but every single player at the moment, every single player that's having a half-decent season, and I know Diomande's had a great season for Leipzig, but that's for Leipzig in the Bundesliga. Where does that warrant that price? I'm sure they're looking at the market. They're looking at other signings that were made from the Bundesliga last season, and Liverpool are kind of the fault for this, for going for Florian Wirtz. Look, Liverpool went for Wirtz and got their man. They were determined to get that player, and it didn't work out. Now the precedent has been set. It's the standard. And that line has been drawn. That's where it is. That's the bottom line. When it comes to prices right now, all of these stars or so-called stars are going to be over 100 million. Since when was potential this expensive? Look, it is still potential. The lad is 19 and he's on the international scene. He's worth a lot of money. He's worth in between 70 and 80 million of anybody's money. But we're talking here, we're talking substantial amounts of money more. You've got Elliot Anderson 2 years into the Premier League that's going to cost over 130 million. Now we're looking at Yan Diomande, who's only played one full major quality season. I know he's been good before, but this was the breakthrough season. But for one breakthrough season, this kid is worth 104 million pounds. I don't think he is. I really don't. And there has to be some sense seen here, I think, with transfers now, because it's getting absolutely ridiculous. Teams are being priced out of the market completely. I think people would say at this point, Adam, this is just sour grapes because Manchester United can't get him. United, I know for certain, are going nowhere near this price. Liverpool are determined to hit back from a poor season last season. Look, they're ready to spend it, and they're ready to spend more than anybody else, it would seem, at the moment. So that's on them. Like, they are determined and they're showing that ambition. They're not worried about the money. They're not worried about the price. One thing it does go to show is that consistent Champions League football with a properly structured and well-run football club gives you the opportunity to go and outprice everybody and go and spend that money. And the squad to ratio rule that's kicking in this season in the Premier League, which matches up with UEFA's, fits Liverpool's model perfectly. It's bang on. They don't need to worry about PSR anymore. Whereas last season, they were comfortable with PSR. This season, it's even easier for the likes of Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City. And they are doubling down on what they are doing. There are no sanctions within the Premier League for going above what is allowed to be spent in this first year of financial fair play change. And we're seeing clubs take advantage of this. Manchester City are about to blow over 200 million, 240 million near enough, on two Premier League midfielders. Liverpool have just spent 40 million euros and are going to have to spend another 120 million euros. To break that down, Liverpool are about to spend 140 million on two more wingers right now. They will look at that and say, well, that's just two 70 million pound players for us. On amortization, that's fine. And this is how clubs are doing this. Should we be looking at the transfer fees? Should we just look at the amortization now? Do transfer fees and the amount actually count anymore? Is it about the structure of the deal? Is this how you've got to look at transfers now? What's it costing per year for a player? Because transfer fees are going through the roof. Should we even look at that figure anymore? It's a case of, we think we can bring in this much money each year for this player, and this is the full price that this is going to be. So this player is going to be 104 million. It's crazy, isn't it? The football world is changing dramatically. I think this has got record transfer window writ all over it. And I thought last summer couldn't be beaten. Well, this has gone absolutely crazy now. Yan Diomande, 104 million pounds, or for anybody in Europe, 120 million. Is a 19-year-old with one full brilliant season under his belt worth that? Is potential worth that much money these days? Is that how far clubs are having to go to stay at the top? Get your comments in below. Let me know what you think, everybody. Liverpool going big again. Subscribe to Adam FC and make sure that you do like the video if you're enjoying the content. I'll see you all in the next one.